Hello viewers, Mezcal here. This is basically a test of live streaming. I'm using the phone. I'm getting a poor connection signal, so I'm not sure how well this will come through. Basically, I've got this little 3D printer that I bought. That's it there. It's a Jcar Tech TL4076. Basically, the story with this is I sold it to a customer at Christmas time. He brought it back saying he was having problems getting it working. But in fact, it was just a very simple fix. So rather than send it back to head office as a PER, which means past economical repair, I decided I was pretty keen to have one of these, so I thought I'll take it home. Staff price was pretty attractive, and I knew the problem with it because I'd fixed the problem in shop. So this thing has been out of the box before, but it's never printed. So let's see what we got here. Bag. Spare switch. There was a problem with that switch. You look underneath here, these these wing nuts can have an impact in the way that they stop this sliding back and forward. So this wing nut here, if it's going to hit before the limit switch, you see this limit switch here, you can hear it click. Now that was a problem because that was turned like that and was hitting and stopping the travel of this carriage. I'll move that just enough. There you go. So that's all it was that was stopping this from performing. Alright. I should be able to run this power brick up through the back here. Cool. There's some test files on that SD card. Comes with some test files. Let's have a look and see what's coming on here. If anybody's joined. No. Very bad connection. So that's not good. This guy plug in. So what comes in the box? USB cable. This stand is a bodgy little holder. It's just an A-frame thing that you put your spool of filament on. Get a spool of filament that has been opened. That could be a problem in regards to moisture on the filament. I did buy some timber filament, wood filament. Pretty keen to have a go at that. I've seen people even, stain the wood filament. I've heard it's pretty abrasive on nozzles, so John, if you're listening, looking forward to one of those nozzles that you've got coming. So we basically have to set this thing up as the stand. I'm not a fan of these little connectors. Basically you just wind that open. Take it off. I think the easiest way to do it. Goes in like that. Then the nut gets captured in that little plastic piece there. And that's what holds it together. That is also what's holding together this box assembly, which has the card in it. The card, it's meant to be running on an Arduino. We had trouble getting information out of the manufacturers as to whether the pinouts on the board had more options for doing things like heated bed. So, live stream, yeah, this thing's saying bad connection. Anyone else with more experience with live streaming, let me know if you have some ideas or tips. Or one thing I'd like to do is use a decent camera. I've got this camera here, it's Wi-Fi enabled. But I can only pair to it with the phone. I don't know any other way to pair to its Wi-Fi function. It does have a HDMI out. I don't have a capture card. But at any rate, I should be able to get this printer up and running. Give you a quick demo. That's part of the roller that holds the spool. What else comes in the box? Do you get a pair of side cutters? That's for cutting your filament. Also get a pair of tweezers. Don't know what's on that. Maybe I should refer to the instructions. JCar has put out a video of how to assemble and set up. Basically, it's pull it out of the box and just make sure that things aren't wobbling. And there's a problem. You can see that there's movement between the axis of that piece of aluminium as opposed to that piece of aluminium. So I'll need to tighten up all the bolts that hold these pieces of framework together so that there's no play during printing. Well, that looks like everything that's in the box. Didn't run through this. There's also what we've got here. Allen keys, spare nozzle. This little thermistor here is really super important. Basically, the device will shut down if it has the thermistor not being a closed loop. Giving continuity, and also the design of where the thermistor enters the print head. As it moves around, there's a lot of movement. As you can see there's quite a lot of movement, and what that movement does is it exercises the wires, the very thin wires, and after a time, and it's not a long printing time before that will break. So I highly recommend, if you have one of these printers, that you get a zip tie and you fix that in such a way. A good idea is to just zip tie it onto there so that you don't have that movement, and that will anchor it so that as it's moving around you won't get the same sort of constant wiggling on your thermistor cable, because you only get one spare one, and you'll have to unspool all of this crap and take that box off to replace that thermistor. So obviously the longer it lasts, the better. Looks like I need to get a zip tie so that I can anchor that. Actually, there's a twisty there. I can use that twisty tie. That'll save me leaving the live stream. Okay, so obviously have to insert that into there, push that down, and insert that into there. Okay, they're locked in. Good. Operating the controls here, you just roll and then click to press. So if I was printing from SD, you can see that there's some files on there. Hopefully this stuff isn't too moist that it gives me all sorts of breakage problems. It doesn't stand up to being bent easily if it's moist, and it'll just snap. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, it's super important to keep this stuff dry. That'll do. And I'll be putting that back in a bag with some desiccant. I'll dry out the desiccant between storages as well so that I don't have wet filament running off the machine. I don't think it's going to matter how that is sitting too much. Sometimes it can spool off. The nozzle here is really quite easy to feed. Should be able to see that. You just squeeze that, that takes tension off the cog, and you just push that through the tube until it comes up onto the head. If you've prepared your print head to the right temperature, you'll be able to just push it through until you start seeing it extrude from the nozzle without feeding electronically. You don't have to electronically feed it to get it working and set. Now I do have the problem of that wonky piece there, so let's tighten that up. Now where's that coming from? Tightening these Allen screws, these bolts at the back here that anchor that L-shaped bracket. So if they're all nice and tight, that shouldn't flop around. Still got a bit of play. This little bench space I've set up here has become, you know, I've set this up for a usable workbench. I want to, you know, we've got winter coming, and I want to be able to do some live streams and, you know, upload a lot more content that's going to get people talking and grow my YouTube channel. channel's been growing nicely ever since I put the Battle of the Spiders on. Just about to hit 3,000 subs. It's really nice to get a Google check. Alright. Still got a bit of play there. What else can I tighten up? Where else could that be coming from? Possibly that one. Quite surprising that that's the only way that it's anchored there, because there's no washers to take up the slack to actually give that 2 points of pressure. It really needs a couple of washers behind that to take that out, because that play there, doesn't matter how much I tighten that, because you've got room, you've got basically that gap there where I'm sticking that in to there is allowing that play. So bit of a design flaw there. Be nice to have that ironed out. Alright, looks like it's going to be as steady as that can be. I'll do a print head prepare. Let's go to prepare, preheat PLA. Okay, you can see it's heating up there, 41, 48. I'm going to anchor that this point here where it moves, so that I don't wear out the wire on the, what do you call it, thermistor. Yeah, it'll come up with a thing saying minimum temp error when the thermistor is broken. From experience, 180 is not hot enough for this little device. Should be up around probably 210, 220 for PLA on this machine. We've had good results printing at those temperatures. Oh, unplugged. Info screen. Control. Temperature. Auto temp on. Nozzle. 220. How well that's showing up. 136. It's aiming for 210. Okay. This mechanism. Looks like those bearings don't need to be in there. How do you like my little bonsai? Pretty cool, isn't he? I got 2 thumbs up, 1 person watching. Hello, 1 person. Please comment, let me know how the stream quality is coming through. Recommended to cut this on an angle to feed it through. Be a little catch in there, it's not liking to feed. Okay. Head is at 211 degrees. Now I should be able to see extrusion when I push from this end. Pushing, and it sounded like it broke. Did that break? No. I can hear bubbling. You can see crap coming out of the extrusion nozzle now. That's good. Bubbles are out. The nozzle's hot enough. Now I guess we can do a test print. Okay. Print from SD. Keychain. Mini Ghost. Arduino Tech keychain. Oh, let's just see what happens, eh? So this is this machine's first print. It may need calibrating. I didn't level the bed, which is something I should probably stop and do. Pause print. So what they recommend is just use a piece of paper. And that piece of paper, this standard A4 sheet, is what you do is you'll bring the head right down to the bed and then just run a piece of paper under there and then move it around to each corner. Stop that. Stop print. And then move it around to each corner, and you want to feel just enough friction on the paper. feels good. Let's go ahead and print. I have no idea what we're about to print or if it'll work. Seems to be going alright. Seems to be a worse connection when I get between the modem and the phone. Well, the claim is you can have this out of the box up and running within half an hour. I'm at 28 minutes on the live feed, so that's a real number. I'm definitely printing within 30 minutes of pulling it out of the box, which is pretty cool. It's only a small bed, but that doesn't matter. It's looking good. I'm really super keen to see this timber stuff. We also sell a wax. Pretty keen to try the wax. And the wax then I could use as a lost wax casting and do, say, silver work or anything like that. You could put the wax in the mould, put the material around, investment I think it's called, put that stuff around the wax and then just pour hot molten silver in, the wax will move out and the silver will take its place. I wonder if I've got any control over the camera zoom or anything. Yep. Focus. Yeah, that's not going to work. Definitely some limitations on using the phone. So what are these bearings I've scored here? Good old skateboard type bearings. Seem to be overkill to be putting on a spinner. Yeah, so when you're running abrasive type of filaments, and even this stuff here will over time wear your filament nozzle out, you can get better nozzles. So as I was saying before, there's some tungsten ones out there which will obviously last a lot longer than brass. So that's good. What's that? It doesn't say anywhere in the instructions what that is. It does look like it would fit through that channel there. It's probably for unblocking the nozzle. So if you made it this far in the stream, I plan to do more of these. I plan to do building things out of silver. So we're talking jewellery and sapphires or stones that I've found, or even opal that I've bought off the internet. So yeah, that's what this little station here is for. Let me know what you think. Would you be interested in watching a live stream of me building, making, crafting jewellery work, or any other such things you'd like to see? Make a comment, let me know. Says I've got 5 people watching. If you have any experience with non-heated beds, how did you prep the bed? Did you use tape? Did you use some sort of glue? I've heard of hairspray, I've heard of Uhu type stick glue. Yeah. What works best? The tape seems to work easy. Looks like it's nearly done. Hey, we're done. Oops. Seems like the focus isn't very happy on the app. Not bad for a first print. Okay, what else can we make? from SD. No, don't do that. I guess this print is this logo. It says Duino Tech keychain. I was hoping there was a calibration square on that. It's probably on here. I'll shove this in the PC. See what's on here. While that preps. Hang on, why is its target temperature too low? Silly me thought that was a thumb drive. It's just a card reader. Yeah, this is that logo. And there's a blob of crap on it. Doesn't take much to stuff up a print. Okay, well, little bits of crap. There'll be lots of that coming up. Well, I'm going to call this a done deal. That's basically it. Unboxed, tested, working well. The next stream I'll do is I'll get something made up, a nice file I can run this timber filament through, and we'll see how it cuts and screws and stains. I think it's going to be a bit more fun than you know, the colourful, or the colour changing, or the glow in the dark, or the flexible. Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers!